Giving it all we got, giving it all we can, giving it all we got. Oh, climbing up to the top of the world, no fear, we're gonna make it. Everything we want is ours. Whoa.
Okay, so it's gonna be another hot and sunny one today, probably. I see. Wow, is that the moon? Yeah, one of those moon days. But it's kind of burning off. What time is it now? It's kind of late. It's 10 o'clock. So, but I've already been at it here on the Thai farm in the retired life. What am I doing? Well, I am working more on my front gate. If you saw, I did buy some stuff. I put the old breaker box, mounted it to this box I bought, weatherproof box, and an old plug. I didn't have the box, but I had the plug and the cap. Anyway, like we do here, we scavenge. We put some extra breakers I had here. These might be too much. I can always swap them out later. That's a 20, and that's a 32. And of course, this main one is a 63 or whatever. I don't know, 400 volt. Yeah, man, that'll work. I assembled this, and it's all tight and everything, which is good. I punched a hole in the top here because I'm gonna have the cable, you know, it comes from the telephone pole, or the power pole, I should say, through here, and I'm gonna get it in here. That cable is, where's that little piece? That cable is a little fatter from the power pole than this one is. But I have found that if I take out, if I just remove the black insulation, which you're gonna remove anyway. Yeah, so there's a piece of it. So that fits right in that same bar, so I don't think I have to worry about the two different size lines. This breaker will handle this size wire, so this comes in here, no problem, fits in here. Of course, it's not bent, but oh, it's gonna be a bear to bend that. But yeah, it fits in there, no problem. And so it shouldn't be any, like I say, any problems at all. I do have the box cover for it, so that'll be that. Now it's just a matter of putting this, mounting it up there, and what I'm doing about that is I have two old pieces of pipe, two old pieces of galvanized pipe that I had laying around. They're each about, I don't know, they're probably 2 feet long. Not really that much more. It's a little bit more than a meter, but I'm just gonna weld them together, and then I think that will be long enough. I'll put the box, I'll mount the box against the top portion, and I'll just drive the rest of it underground. And that should be stable enough. I'll probably even put some cement around it. Stable enough to hold my box up there through wind and weather. I did repair my ground clamp with a wing nut. This was the side that kept getting eaten up. I just switched it over to the other side. But I realized that, like I said, this thing is cheap ass clamp. So yesterday in Sunday's market, secondhand market, I found, it's not secondhand, it's brand new, but I found the kind that where you clamp it to the top, and definitely more robust. But see, now I already fixed that. I'll leave that until it melts again the second time. Let me turn this off so I don't get all my copyrighted. I'm gonna weld this together first, and then after I weld it, then I think I'm gonna pre-drill the holes to mount that box in there. But I'll pre-drill the holes after I weld it, and then I will take it up there with the box and everything, and I'll see if I can't assemble everything in. By the way, my yard is a mess out here, so don't mind me. It's always a mess. Doesn't matter, I can clean it all up today, make it all look pretty. Tomorrow it'll be a mess. And anyway, get everything settled up there. I'm gonna run the wire up. I'm gonna connect it to the breaker box. I'm gonna I have to create the plug receptor, or the plug end for the lights for the gate posts. I already got that wired. Well, I do have to, you know, splice the wiring at the actual light part. Anyway, fix all that wiring up, plug it into the receptacle that's in that box, get the wire from the power pole that's going to be on the power pole connected to the box, and have that all set up. So when the electrical guy comes, which we already got a call out to him, he's supposed to be coming, but I think he said he was super busy, but you know, he just do a flyby and check. But I think when my wife told him, you know, we're connected to an electric gate and all this, he might be thinking a bigger project. But when he gets here, I'm going to show him that, no dude, all I want you to do is splice it at the top of the power pole and you're done, because I'll do the rest. It's already connected to the breaker. All I needed him to do is connect it to the power. You know, I could do that, but no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And but yeah, then after that's finished, after that power's hooked up and I'll be able to see real quick that my lights work and all that, that receptacle works, then I can actually position the motor where it should be. It's in the shop here, but I'm not gonna bring it out there and let it sit till he gets here. I'll just wait till he gets here and hooks up the power, and I'll say see you, thank you, later, bye. And I'll go ahead and grab my motor, set it up there, get it in place, and be able to hook up my welder out there with the power and my drill out there with the power, because I need to drill holes in the cement for that base plate. And then I need a welder out there so I can weld the little, you know, track studs onto my gate. All right, man, well, let's get to welding. That's what we do here. More welding out of the shop. Alrighty, well, I'm here at my front gate and getting ready for, you know, put the pole in. What I actually did was I already came out here. I'm sitting in my air-conditioned truck right now, trying to cool down, because it's what's that, 34 out there. That's pretty hot. 34, was that closer to 90, I expect. But anyway, I measured the pole that I assembled right after I welded it. And by the way, that galvanized pipe, you know, again, I'm not the welder, although I'll weld anything if you give me a chance. But anyway, I couldn't really get a bead to, you know, to really hold those two together. I mean, I could kind of, if they would have been, you know, minor holes, but I think it would have broke off after time or something like that. So I wound up putting 2 bars on the side. I had these extra bars laying around that I have, you know, and I just laid those down and welded those to it. So now it's like, you know, the 2 bars are welded kind of long. I'll show it to you in a minute, and it's holding those 2 poles into place better, which is good, pretty strong. But it's a little about 4.5 feet or so. So it's you know, I'm gonna put it in the ground. And looking at the box, I want it lower, so I plan on pounding that thing in the ground with my little mini sledgehammer. Pound it in the ground, which would have meant that I had to pound it about 1 meter down. So I started it, but then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have to be hitting this thing so hard I might mess up my welds. So I decided to bust out my post hole digger, my trusty post hole digger, which starts right up. It's a pretty good deal. Although this is the first time I've mounted, it's actually a 4-inch maybe digger. So it's a little bigger than the pipe, but what I'll try and do is I'm gonna try and get it down, you know, about halfway or so. It looks like maybe there's softer dirt. Then I'll pound that thing in there, and then I'll fill it in, just so I could do it without, you know, destroying the pipe or destroying the weld or whatever. And then I got my ladder situated over here because I need to get up there. The wire, when I bought those little crowns, those lights, the wire comes down on the inside to about the bottom. So I gotta use my wire that I laid, and I gotta splice it up there and up there too. And then I gotta open the splice down here where I buried it, and I'm gonna unbury it. So I can make a plug for those lights for that box. But anyway, it's post hole digging time. Let's do it. I don't know, man, that might have to be deep enough. Starting to mess with the weld, I think. Of course, if I do break it, I can, once the power's out of here, I can always re-weld it, right? Not that I want to, but. All right, let me get back at you. Oh, well, I finished it. As much as I can anyway, until the power gets here. Here's what I got. I got the box in place with the pole. I got my lines all wired up on both lights, tethered in there. This is the cable. I put in some old conduit, just extra cable there. If that doesn't reach for them to splice it, I do have more cable. They can use that to splice. I left the ground there. I did put a copper rod in the ground for it to be grounded. This, again, I just got the old breaker box in there with the 20 and the 32, and then plug receptacle. The machine will go here and we'll plug into here. Actually, I'll probably need to punch another hole in here and then plug that in there. And the plug serves, it's good, you know, this is waterproof there. It's all right. Ain't going nowhere. I'll put another cable line up here. Well, that was it, and it was pretty exhausting. I mean, what I say it was 34. It's still 34. Ouch! It may even be longer or hotter than 34 because 34. Yeah, I looked on my phone to be exact. It's 93.4 degrees out there. Woo! I was baking, especially up on that ladder while I was splicing those lights and fixing that. Boy, that's where you can pass out from heat stroke. Don't pass out on a ladder. It's a bigger fall. Anyway, I'm glad I got that finished. And really, like I said in the earlier, the only thing I have left to do is to have that guy hook up the power, and then I'll be able to more easily drill the holes in that concrete for mounting the machine, the motor. And then once I mount the motor, then I can hook up the electrical to it, get a plug to it, and then plug it in and start the you know, adjusting. Although at the same time I'm, you know, mounting the machine in place, that's when I'm actually going to be welding those first two rods or guide bars in place. So now that the plug will be hooked up, I can use the welder, plug it right in there, and make it happen. Yeah. Whew. Man. All right, well, time to go get a Pepsi or Escola. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you've been following the progress on my gate, we're almost there. Gonna be looking good, feeling good in no time. All right, man. Thanks for watching. Keep watching for more action here on the Tide Farm. Back at you.